Hello, this is RJ from Game News USA, and today I want to talk about Smile 2. And I gotta say, what I've witnessed is nothing short of a complete and total masterpiece that made me smile. So let's get right into it. First, thank you all for being here. Please consider hitting the subscribe button. And this is not your typical me going over the movie score reviews. It's a little more personal than that, as I give more of my own personal thoughts. The Rotten Tomatoes for this movie was an 80%, which was very similar, if not the exact same, as the first Smile. So, going in, I was hoping I would get an experience at least as good. Now, there were many things going against Smile 2. First of all, usually movie sequels aren't as good as the original. A great 1-2 punch I could think of is Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. This matches that when it comes to greatness of the original movie and the sequel. I was pleasantly surprised. Not only did I enjoy the sequel just as much as the original Smile, I liked it even more, which I didn't even know was possible. And I'm going to get into the reasons why. So, first thing off the bat, the biggest thing that this movie has over the original is the lead actress. The first lead actress is very forgettable now compared to this one. Naomi Scott performed an excellent in her role as Sky Riley. I was absolutely stunned by the great acting I saw before me. It reminded me so much, her losing her mind as the movie went on, reminded me so much of The Shining and Jack Nicholson's performance. I was very impressed with her lead actress role. That may have been the best movie I've ever seen, as acting-wise, from a female lead. I'm not even kidding. I'm usually a huge fan of Sarah Paulson, like from American Horror Story and stuff, but I need to go pay attention to Naomi Scott if she's that great of an actress, because I was completely convinced I was watching a pop star on the level of Taylor Swift going mad as the movie went on. So that is the first and foremost thing that stood out. I feel like this studio was able to take their original idea of Smile and now with a bigger budget, not lose what made Smile Smile and instead expanded on it. They were able to do so many tricks that made the movie even better than what the original had to offer, which I give both movies a 10 out of 10. If I could give Smile 2 an 11 out of 10, I would. Because I was impressed. I don't really want to spoil the ending. The ending is phenomenal. Honestly, it's great. It really leaves the door open for either more, or if that's how they want to end the franchise, and then it was a very excellent 1-2 punch. But I don't really want to get into spoilers here. But I will say that it wasn't just the lead actress that acted her role well. All the other characters did great in their roles. And especially whenever they were supposed to be the smiling demon, you know, they really had you convinced. I was tricked throughout this movie constantly. Not sure what was real and not real. It was even more confusing than the first one when it came to trying to decipher reality. And honestly, some fans may find some frustration with that. I, however, enjoy a movie that's completely off the rails and crazy. And that's what this was. Nobody could have predicted what would happen next. And I very much enjoyed the movie throughout. I thought maybe the longer runtime might make it struggle, since it was over 2 hours. However, there was little to no fluff at all in this movie. It was point A to point B to point C to point D the whole way through. Never a dull moment. Things kept happening that I couldn't believe were happening. The scares were actually scary. You know, the last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, I've watched scary movies in theaters. None of them ever get me to jump, except Smile and Smile 2. Their jump scares are the best in the world that they offer. It truly is. I just sit there in silence, anticipating where's the jump scare coming from. And even though I know it's coming, it can still get me sometimes, which is shocking considering I am a 30-year vet of watching scary movies. I don't know how they're able to do it. Visually, the movie is super impressive. I don't think it looks corny at all. I think it looks really authentic. The believability of the world seems really believable. There's nothing that happens that's so outrageous outside of the realm of reality other than the hallucinations that make me think this movie isn't grounded in some reality. And everything served a purpose. There was no wasted scenes, and that's what I said about there being no fluff as well. Everything really slowly built in with a good pace. The fact that she was going mad. Her backstory made her more interesting as well. What she did before she was infected with the Smile virus made it really interesting. And this movie did a great job of making you at times feel sympathetic towards her or angry towards her. It kept you on a roller coaster of emotions throughout. But by the end of the movie, I felt satisfied. I felt very satisfied for what I have seen. And I did something I haven't done pretty much in any movie I've ever went to. When the movie rolled credits in a crowded theater, I stood up. I stood up like this. And I clapped. I clapped for this movie. This movie is on the short list when 2020s are all said and done for being the movie of the decade. I'm not kidding. I'm not trolling. Some of y'all probably don't like Smile 2, but I loved it, and I wanted to give my thoughts on it because I thought it was phenomenal. And I know we usually go through the Rotten Tomatoes score and what different reviewers say, but this movie, I felt so personally attached to what I just seen that it's something that I'm not going to forget for a long time. It's one of those evergreen movies that, you know, like a Sixth Sense or a Shining or a Halloween, that I consider an instant classic. And honestly, it was so good that it, you know, I'm not going to say it dwarfs the first Smile, but it is better than the first Smile. I do think watching these movies back to back would be really nice, and I need to do that sometime. But I gotta say, there's no way this movie's not my movie of the year. I'm going to do a poll at the end of the year on my channel to see what the community thinks for what the movie of the year is and what the game of the year is. But I seriously doubt there's any other movie I see this year that will surpass it. I even liked it better than Deadpool and Wolverine, which I also give a 10 to. But they're totally different movies, of course. I'm glad they both existed this year. This year has been really great for movies. And, you know, Joker 2, despite me giving it a 9, was not as good as the first movie. Smile 2 was able to live up to the hype and then some, I'm proudly to say. So, hopefully you guys go check it out. And once you do see it, tell me in the comments below what you thought of Smile 2. All opinions here are welcome. I'm just a guy giving my opinion. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Peace. I'm out. Keep smiling.